Let's jump right in. Welcome to This Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through today's topic because what we're looking at, well, it's nothing short of an evolutionary marvel. Today, we're exploring the physics of fasting. And hey, we aren't just talking about your basic metabolism or weight loss here. No, we're going to look under the hood at the unbelievable microscopic demolition and repair system built directly into your biology.
Okay, let's dive into this by totally shattering a massive misconception. When you stop eating, people often assume your body just panics, right? That it runs out of fuel and immediately starts cannibalizing healthy tissue like muscle. But as we're going to see today, that couldn't be further from the truth. You aren't starving your body. Instead, you're putting it through a highly selective, deeply organized biological audit.
To really wrap our heads around how this works, we're going to take a walk through your cellular factory across 6 steps. Constant construction, flipping the fuel switch, the demolition crew arrives, cleaning up the clutter, rewiring your blueprint, and finally, the ultimate cellular upgrade. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Constant Construction.
So this is the baseline reality for almost everyone in the modern world. When we're constantly eating, our insulin stays up. Every single cell in your body is receiving this one instruction, repeated hundreds of times a day: grow, store, construct. Now look, it's a good instruction, but if it never turns off, it kind of becomes a slow-motion catastrophe. When we pause the constant eating, we shift away from that panicked idea of starvation and move into this auditing phase. It's a careful recycling of damaged parts that's actually existed in every living cell for over 1 billion years.
The real driver behind all that constant construction is a protein pathway called mTOR. I want you to think of mTOR as your body's biological foreman. When glucose and amino acids are just flowing in steadily, this foreman stands on the factory floor shouting, "Build, build, build." Now, mTOR is an awesome foreman when supplies are high, but honestly, it's a terrible one for maintenance. Because a foreman entirely focused on construction has literally zero incentive to stop and inspect the machinery for wear and tear.
So the big question is, how do we get the foreman to finally take a break? That brings us to Section 2, flipping the fuel switch.
Now, what's really interesting here is the exact timeline of this metabolic shift. For the first 0 to 8 hours after a meal, your body is basically just burning surface glucose and stored glycogen. It's kind of like a car burning the gas sitting right there in the tank. Or, spending the cash you have right in your wallet. But around hour 8 to 12, that wallet goes empty. And your body doesn't panic, it just switches banks. Your liver starts converting stored fat into ketone bodies. And as we push into that 16 to 24-hour mark, a new protein called AMP rises, and the real magic of cellular repair begins. This transition from glucose to ketones is phenomenal. Glucose is quick energy, for sure, but constantly burning it keeps our foreman mTOR permanently switched on. Ketones, on the other hand, are this incredibly steady alternative fuel that your brain absolutely loves. But more importantly for our cellular factory, the switch to ketones isn't just an energy shift, it's the literal chemical signal that quiets the growth foreman and opens the door to deep cellular repair. And the second that foreman is silenced, things get really interesting. Let's look at Section 3. The demolition crew arrives. As glucose drops, a completely different protein steps up. Meet AMP. If mTOR is the loud foreman, AMP is your cell's internal fuel gauge and site inspector. Its whole job is to monitor the ratio of spent fuel to available fuel. When fuel runs low, AMP doesn't freak out. Instead, this inspector steps in with absolute authority. Let's move to how this builds into an actual cleanup sequence. First, AMP senses that fuel is low. Second, it walks right over to mTOR and completely shuts the foreman down. All growth stops. Third, the moment the growth stops, your cell begins manufacturing some highly specialized machinery, these double membrane bubbles called autophagosomes. And fourth, those bubbles go hunting. They literally wrap around damaged material and dissolve it down into raw, reusable parts. This whole process has a name, and you've probably heard it thrown around online, but this is what it actually means: autophagy. It literally translates from Greek as self-eating. I want to be super clear here. This isn't some vague wellness buzzword, and it is definitely not an insult to your body. Autophagy is a highly organized, heavily regulated demolition and recycling operation that specifically hunts down cellular debris. So what exactly is this demolition crew looking for on the factory floor? Let's get into Section 4, cleaning up the clutter. The scale of the problem inside our cells is massive, so this newly assembled cleanup crew has very specific targets. First up, failing mitochondria.
These are your cellular power plants, but when they break, they leak free radicals that cause oxidative damage. Second, misfolded proteins. Think of these like bent machine parts that clump together. It's cellular clutter closely linked to aging and neurodegeneration. And third, by targeting all these broken parts, the crew essentially removes the sources of that low, persistent hum of chronic background inflammation. The absolute precision of this operation is wild. Like, how does the body actually know what to destroy? Well, it uses tags. For broken mitochondria, proteins called PINK1 and parkin act like chemical red stickers. They literally slap a warning tag on the broken power plant in a process called mitophagy. For the misfolded proteins, the cell uses a tiny molecule called ubiquitin, which acts exactly like a barcode, scanning and marking the bent machinery to be routed to a cellular shredder. And once shredded, they're dissolved back into raw amino acids. Absolutely nothing is wasted. But the changes aren't just a physical cleanup on the factory floor. They go way deeper. Let's hit Section 5, rewiring your blueprint. It's a pretty profound question. What actually happens to your DNA when the glucose runs out? We usually think of DNA as this fixed static blueprint, right? Just read the exact same way forever. But it's really not. Your DNA is actually a massive switchboard. And which switches get flipped depends entirely on the fuel signals arriving from outside the cell. So the crucial point here is that fasting actively shifts which genes get read out loud. As AMP rises, it activates specific genes, like FOX3. This gene essentially tells the cell, hey, pause the new hires and pour the entire budget into DNA repair, antioxidant defense, and stress resistance. On top of that, fasting increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of this stuff as miracle fertilizer for your neurons. It promotes new brain synapses, which makes total evolutionary sense, right? If you were hungry out in the wild, you desperately needed a sharper brain to find food, not a foggy one. All right, now let's zoom out to the macro perspective for Section 6, the ultimate cellular upgrade. Just consider the awe-inspiring scale of this operation. This isn't happening in just one place. This highly selective demolition, the genetic rewiring, this hyper-precise recycling operation, it is happening across approximately 37 trillion individual cells in your body. It is a synchronized factory reset on an unimaginable scale. And here's why that scale really matters over time. It takes roughly 7 to 10 years for your body to completely break down and replace the vast majority of its cells. The lining of your gut, your blood cells, your skin, even your bones. In a very literal sense, you are not the same physical collection of cells you were a decade ago. And this brilliantly illustrates the most important distinction of all. Cellular turnover without maintenance is just replacement. If you never activate autophagy, your new cells just inherit the old baggage, the oxidative stress, and the inflammatory signals of the old ones. Fasting ensures that the broken parts actually get cleared out. It drastically improves the quality of the raw materials available for your body to build your next generation of cells. This quote really hits the nail on the head and summarizes the core thesis of everything we've uncovered in this explainer. Fasting gets filed away as a diet so often, just a temporary trick to change a number on a scale. But as we've seen, it's actually scheduled, uninterrupted downtime. It's a foundational maintenance program your biology strictly requires to clear internal clutter and prevent slow degradation over time. I want to leave you with a provocative thought to ponder today. If your body is continuously turning over and your cells are constantly rebuilding themselves over the span of a decade, what quality of materials are you giving them to build with? Are you giving your biological factory the time it desperately needs to sweep the floors? Or is the foreman just shouting, build, build, build? It really completely reframes how we look at our daily habits. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.